Hello. In this tutorial I'm going to show you how to take two separate subtools and merge them so that I can add any form of deformation across these two subtools without having our seam split. So as you can see is this troll has multiple subtool levels. So the first thing we're going to want to do is subdivide this troll up to the highest subdivision levels and go to our Z plugin, go into Subtool Master and click on Subtool. We're then going to click on Merge, and in the Merge preference we're going to go ahead and click on Merge and delete extra subtools. If I was just to do Merge only, it would keep these two subtools and create the new merged troll right here. So for the purpose of this video we're just going to go ahead and delete our subtools, and we're going to keep our polygroups based on the subtools. If I hit preserve, it'll preserve the polygroups that we have. So for this purpose of the demo, we're going to preserve our subtools as the polygroup. So we're going to hit OK. ZBrush is going to say I'm making a mesh that's 600,000 polys. We're going to say OK to that. And now we have a mesh that's been merged to one. However, if you notice that this seam is not very clean, and if I was to go and try and smooth any of this out, I can't smooth any of that edge out. Or if I was to take my inflate brush and go along this seam, it's going to start pulling away at each other. So how we're going to solve this is, the first thing we'll need to do is export an OBJ of this merged troll. So we're going to go ahead and export. I'm going to save this just to my desktop. So we're writing an OBJ. Now we're going to scroll down to the import options. We're going to click on the merge points, which there's also weld here. If you turn your weld all the way up, this will work as well. But for the purpose of this, we're going to use the merge. And now we're going to import, and we're going to import the merge split. And I'm importing that same file that I have exported. So ZBrush right now is reading that OBJ and importing it, and as you see it is welding our points. And then ZBrush will kick back and let me know how many verts were identical. And now if I was to go and smooth out that seam, as you can see, I can get rid of that seam along the two tools that used to be two separate subtools. On top of that, I can now add any kind of deformation across that seam without having them split apart. So if I was to take any kind of alpha as well and drag that out, we're not going to get any break in our seam. So now, because of this workflow and our polygroups that we had, we can go back into our subtool palette, click on group split, and as you see we now get both of our tools back separately again. And to get back our subdivision levels, we're going to open geometry, and we're going to reconstruct our subdivision levels. And as you can see, ZBrush is going back and giving us back our subdivision levels. So we'll do that on both models. And as you can see, we have now made two subtools. One did some deformation on our tool and did not have a seam issue. So that is the trick to taking two subtools, making them one so you can deform across their edges and then separate them again back into their subtools.